All right, we just finished practice tonight, and I thought our guys came and regrouped well tonight. We had a good spirited practice. Obviously disappointed how it ended up yesterday, and you know, it was a tough one for sure. We did a lot of things to keep us from an opportunity to win the game. You know, we made some mistakes, and at the end we didn't have enough points because of it. So we got to play better, we got to execute better, and at the same time, really proud our guys played extremely hard, and just not playing clean enough yet to be a good football team like that. And you know, we're definitely disappointed. At the same time, we're rolling our sleeves up. We're going to work and getting ourselves ready for another SEC game this week. Get to play back in Jordan-Hare and get ourselves ready, and excited to get to work on our next opponent.
Well, when you watch the tape, you know, those 3 straight drives there, and
yeah,
what happened there? Did suddenly just flip the switch, and then what happened that everything disappeared?
I made this comment to our offense earlier. You know, I watched those 3 drives, and when I was watching those 3 drives, it was exciting watching it. You know, we executed at a high level. We make great decisions. Our guys up front had hats on the right people with the right technique, which is more important sometimes than just getting to the right person. It is. You know, you got to execute once you get there, and they did a really nice job there. We got into a great rhythm. Obviously, when we get into a pace situation and we get in rhythm, I think we have a chance to be a good offense. And the most important thing is for us to find ways to do that more often, obviously. And you know, I got to do a better job with that myself. But at the same time, we've got to execute. And when we get opportunities, we got to take advantage. We got to catch the ball. We got to throw it to the right people, and making sure that we're throwing accurate throws. And at the same time, I do like our guys. I like the way they came back tonight, and I think we'll improve. I mean, that's the way we have to take this as an opportunity to improve.
You guys didn't convert a third down outside of those touchdown drives. What was kind of the biggest issue on
Well,
this?
we had a lot of third and longs, and that goes to not being very good on first down. You know, we had some lost yardage plays on some runs early, or really some no-yard plays, you know, which creates eventually 3rd and 7 plus, or what we call third and long. So I think the key to being good on third downs, if you look back even last year at our success against the good teams on third down, we had a lot of third and mediums. And those are obviously a little easier to get. And we just, you know, at the same time, 3rd and 7 to 10, we got to work better and get some better opportunities, and really make some throws and contested catches. That's what it comes down to.
Just opposite line-wise.
Yep.
Stay at pass, do you think?
I don't know. We're still evaluating all that. We'll see how the week plays out. We definitely got some things on our mind, hopefully maybe that can generate some momentum. At the same time, we're not going to, you know, obviously we got to play better as a unit. But you know, we'll always look at a way to improve, see how it plays out this week.
Nick Brahms was on the sideline, snapped a lot during that game.
Yep.
Was that something communicated to him before the game, like be ready, or was that just him?
I mean, I think he's, I think in his mind, you know, we told him to be ready, obviously. At the same time, we had 3 or 4 good drives there. We had a 4th drive that was pretty good too, that we ended up stalling out on there in the 4th. I think the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Field goal?
Yeah, maybe it's the missed field goal. And so in my mind, we had 4 good drives going. We had some momentum. You know how it is. Sometimes you don't want to break the momentum by making a change. At the same time, we got a lot of confidence in Nick. And like I said, after evaluating the film, we'll just see how practice plays out and see how things go.
You think who'll be next in line at guard?
There's a couple combinations. Austin Troxell definitely is a possibility. You know, I think Caleb could move there and play some guard. I mean, we got some flexibility there, so we'll just see.
How the penalties?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a couple holding calls yesterday.
Yeah.
Had a couple in the first game.
Yeah.
How disappointing has that been? As an
very
offense?
disappointing, because our head coach is really big on that. We've been one of the least penalized teams, I think, over the last few years since he's been the head coach, and that was really a point of emphasis to this afternoon to our, because you know, first game you go, okay, first game we have penalties, and sometimes that happens in a first game situation. We've played 3 games now. We have to improve. We're not very good as far as penalties go, and if we don't get better, it's going to be hard to score a lot of points, because we shoot ourselves in the foot. You know, in the 4th quarter, we needed a drive to go get some points, and 2 drives we got penalties that put us back in a backed up situation. And when you're in a backed up situation in a game and you got the lead, you know, everything's critical. You can't make mistakes, and then when you punt, you're not really flipping the field. So we got to make sure that we do a better job. We got to coach our guys better about, you know, what a penalty looks like, what it is, and we do work on that. But our team needs to grow up in that area for sure.
A little bit of a 2-parter, but Ryan Davis dropped a couple passes. Then Seth comes in and immediately catches a pass, made some tough catches. What's the future hold for both of them, and especially Seth? It seems like he's catching.
Well, Ryan Davis, obviously, he's earned his way for sure here. You know, that's very not like Ryan to do that. At the same time, we all make mistakes, so we're good. Seth, we got a lot of high expectations for. He's continued to show that he's not in awe of playing early, which I like. Plays, you know, he can play at a high level. I really believe that. He's not a finished product yet, but we really like the direction he's going.
About running back, I mean, Gus said that there wasn't a final decision made on who the guy is, but yet, Booby's had 2 straight 100-yard games. Just
Yeah.
kind of where's that stand?
We try to go with who's hot, kind of who's feel, you know, and I think what Booby did well yesterday was he ran downhill better. You know, he finished runs downhill with low pad level. If you notice, running backs that do that fall forward all the time, it's even when nothing's there, they move the pile. And if you notice, he did that a lot yesterday. I think he had Tim keeps up with how many yards they have after contact, how many yards they get on their own. I think he had out of the 100 and whatever he had, I think 70 of those, some odd, were after contact or, you know, kind of guy that makes yards on his own. So that is what he brings. And early in the season, you know, I didn't think he did enough of that, and I think he's definitely taken the right step. At the same time, Kim Martin and Sean Shivers both are going to have a role for us. We didn't have near as many plays yesterday as we usually do. We had 70, I think, total. We've been over 80 in the other 2. And then when you have a lot of 3rd and longs and you use Chandler in there, you know, at 4, that limits the number of snaps some of those guys get. So we're still working through the right rotation for that. Right now, it's probably who's hot, and I think Shivers brings a little bit of a unique skill set to that position, and just felt like he had some momentum for us. But at the same time, I think we're going to need all 3 of those guys, you know, together to really be good.
If you were to test things out along the offensive line, is it tougher to do, you know, at this point, 3 weeks into a year when you're trying to gel, or is this the best time?
No, I don't think so. I think you always have to look for ways to improve your team. And, you know, if a guy at any position, whether it's quarterback, offensive line, is not getting it done, then you got to do something to ignite your team and to ignite your offense. And listen, at the end of the day, we got off to a slow start because we didn't execute well. We dropped some balls early. We didn't block right early. We missed a throw early, obviously, with the interception. So it's a combination of all of us getting on the same page quicker. And like I said, you got to execute at a high level against good teams.
How would you evaluate Jarrett Stidham in his game?
Yeah, I think Jarrett would tell you he didn't play his best, but at the same time, he did a lot of really good things too. He made some really good throws. You know, the one that comes to mind to Darius down the left sideline was a really nice throw and catch. You know, I think he managed the game well. He checked us and got us into some plays, which was really nice because it makes it where they can't check the defense when he does that. That was good. He made some good decisions on RPOs, whether to hand it or run it, you know, hand it or throw it. At the same time, you know, I know he'd like those 2 throws he made back, and especially the one early. He just missed inside. He'll be the first to tell you that. And then, you know, the other one, there was a little bit of a miscommunication. The kid made a good play. The corner did. You know, probably went to the back shoulder one too many times. But at the same time, you know, Jarrett's hard on himself, and he'll improve and play better.
When you made the decision as a staff to go for it on 4th and 1 early at the 17, why the decision to be in shotgun and run the ball instead of maybe going under center as you did later when you scored a touchdown?
Definitely could. It could have gone either way. You know, we ran power. We didn't block back to the backer. You know, whether you're in gun or whether you're in under center, it wouldn't matter there because we didn't execute. We didn't block it right. So, but you're right. We run power from under center too. Sometimes it has to do with getting in a certain formation to get the defense to line up a certain way, and sometimes it has to do with if you want motion or not. So that's kind of how we had that in as a game plan, as a 4th and short call, and we went with what we felt like our best play, and again didn't execute. If we executed, it's not like we ran into a bad look. We just didn't execute it.
What exactly does Sean give to the running back group that maybe Cam or Bobby doesn't give?
You know, he's obviously low center of gravity, one thing, but he brings a natural attitude, a natural persona. He's explosive. You know, he's got really good short area quickness, and he's strong now. He's really strong. I mean, you can see even on the touchdown run he had, 2 people hit him and he kind of just bounced off, kept his feet. He's got great balance and body control. So he's just another guy that I think, you know, where we are right now, we're going to need all 3 of those guys to get a combination of what we want in the run game.
And because of that, you look at, you know, a couple of tight end catches, all the running back catches, all those things. How important
we
is
threw
that?
the tight end.
Again,
Nobody's even asked me about
that's twice. That's twice. But how important are those plays when you're not running it like you want to?
You know what? We've really worked hard on trying to find ways to, different creative ways off Neckers and so forth to do that. And it was a good week for it because of the way the defense lined up. And I was glad to see us hit a few of those. And, you know, obviously that needs to be an element of what you do all the time. Sometimes the looks aren't good. These odd defenses that play overhangs, those aren't real good all the time. So we got them in the right formation, the right look, and executed.
You guys ran a good bit of like deep balls last year, relied on them. But this year, you know, there's only been that one play to Anthony Schwartz against Alabama State. Is that more of a like game by game thing, or just
like Washington, they played a lot of cover 3, so it's hard to throw it over their head there. Alabama State gave us a quarters look in the formation we were in. That's when you get an opportunity to do that. LSU played a lot of single high, so your one-on-one, your deep balls are one-on-one outside. Like Darius, we tried to throw it to him, 3-4 times. We tried to do it in pace too, didn't hit him. So, you know, it all depends on the defense we're given. You know, if you look back at the ones we hit last year, most of them were against too high. So,
What are you expecting out of Will and Eli? I know they've played, but they weren't necessarily targeted.
They're still working their way back in. I mean, they obviously both of them had major knee injuries, so they're back, but yet, are they really back yet? They haven't had practice reps like you'd like from a standpoint of conditioning. They haven't, you know, been hit a lot. They haven't been hit at all, you know, until they played the other night. So I think they're still taking their time to get back. We want to make sure that before we give them a heavy load that they're fully confident and ready to go.
Is Nate Craig banged up at all, or is it just more Seth Williams playing really well?
Yeah, Seth's playing well. Nate's doing fine. All right. Thank